Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Tai Chi For You. And I want to start off by just saying hi to all the new people. We've been getting a lot of response really throughout the Blackstone Valley locally. Grafton, hi, Grafton. Met some nice folks, and we'll be getting together in maybe Grafton, or they can make it to the Northbridge Senior Center on the Monday class. Also, going a little bit further south, we're in Georgia now. We have people watching us there. So, hello to everybody in Georgia and Florida as well. There's people there, North Carolina. Uh, it's crazy how this has grown. Just different states. Uh, Locally, the towns, Milford, I'm getting more response from Milford as well. And just this past week, I was in Littleton, Mass. I was invited to a health and wellness fair. It was very educational. Talked to some people that have been in the business a long time of healing and the different modalities. They use sound therapy, um, the salt room. That's another great therapy where you could just, again, the breath and the salt, how it cleanses the body and helps with some of your allergies, some different things, health benefits. So I'll be going into a salt room pretty soon too as well. But what else were it was people with other things. It was new to me, but um, they're talking about patches and patches for different um, whatever. If I know there's that patch for quitting smoking, but um, this is more on the idea of health and healing, um, that path of it. So we'll get some more interest with that. I can maybe get a guest on. We can talk about that as well. And let's see, there was the food was awesome. They had put on some great healthy food. So I'll be going back for food as well. So let's see, that brings us up to everything current. We have our Monday class at the Northbridge Senior Center, and it's all a welcome, all ages, any town, and just show up. That's if you can get yourself to show up. I know it might be intimidating, but it's a lot of fun. You're going to learn really so much, but don't feel like you're overwhelmed. Last week, what we did, with the show, and then I did it in class, I had a printout similar to what I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about. And we went over some of the basic steps. But tonight's printout, let me get my glasses on. It's sort of really just a sort of a, I don't want to say top 10 because I hate to, in no particular order, but the idea of just standing up, stand straight, and that so important. I stress relax, relax. So another way of saying it is don't strain. And that's what we talked about in class last week, where everybody, it's the same move or the same principle, but you might learn it better by just saying it differently. So don't strain is maybe that clicks for you versus me trying to say relax, relax all the time. Um, and the idea behind that is because you want to get that chi circulating. And you could substitute chi for energy or to get the blood flowing. You want to be, in a good posture. And that gets us right into the chest. You want to be able to allow that breath, that full, when we talked about the full, long, deep breathing, well, we can just say it a different way. Allow the chest, again, that slight inward. And you want to bring that breath down into that dantian, that lower power center that we have that's just below the navel, consider that we use the analogy of that's our battery, that's our storage. That's where when we need power, that's where we draw it from, that internal source. So that's where the power and the vital energy right there in that lower belly. Next is relax the waist. You want to be able to, by relaxing that waist or don't strain, it just it builds on that base. We talk about having a good foundation with a house before. You can't have a good house if you don't have a good foundation. So nice strong foundation, a good base with the legs. And that's just because that again, that's where the energy starts and continues outward and out into the body. The idea of solid and empty stance, that's that weight shifting, or we'll say 60-40 when we talk about that, and we'll get up and demonstrate. But, we'll go through it, and then when we stand, we'll start to just see how they all sort of just fall in naturally. And use the mind instead of force. That's another thing. Another way of saying relax the body. When we think about how the body and the energy flows through the meridians, and I know this is the um, traditional Chinese medicine way of thinking. The meridians. I don't think they study meridians at UMass when they're trying to find what's wrong with you. But an acupuncturist or traditional Chinese um, medicine would go that way. So, and again, being persistent. Remember, I say just stick with it. And I saw it this week with a few of the students that have stuck with it. Just the new ones that have been there maybe 6 weeks or less. I see the difference in them, and they're getting more positive. They incorporate all this, and it just really shows. So, kudos to the new folks as well. Um, let's see. I mean, we can go through them. I don't want to just read them, but if you'd like a copy, just let me know. Or if you're able to take it off the screen somehow, that'd be great. But the whole idea of just that, again, there's so much ways to say things differently, but the mind is the commander, the body is the subservient. With the mind being tranquil, the movements will be graceful. So that's just another way of saying slow down and start to feel that connection. Again, it's not a contact sport. It's not a team sport. You're not even competing with yourself. You're doing it for yourself, so you get the benefits of it. And just that idea of, again, more the martial art aspect of it, the punching and the leaping and the kicking and all that, which, yeah, you normally you would maybe hold your breath or go off balance, but if you use that internal focus, it really does help with the moves. So it does have that soothing effect with the body. So let me just set this off to the side. If you guys want to get up and join me, I have some of my Tai Chi. And we can begin. We do our warm up. So it's a nice, gentle, think about, again, what was on that letter with the idea of balance, breathing, the shifting the weight, the turning the body, that 60-40 principle. So let's just start with the breath before we do anything else. Just a nice breath in and exhale out. So visualize that air being drawn in deep, expanding the lungs. That diaphragm muscle is what's pulling down to expand. You want to remember they talked a little bit about folding in the chest. And I do that with the arms, and it sort of just caves it in just a little bit. Put the elbows out somewhat and relax the wrist and the shoulders and the elbows. And again, a deep breath in. Exhale. And you could squeeze in a little bit, picture like a sponge, squeezing that stale air that's been trapped, not getting out. So we want to get all that stale air out in a deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. With the shifting that weight, that's that slight turning. Well, we'll get to the turning, but just do that weight shifting right now. And we went deeper in this in class, but the principle is knees are slightly bent. The back is straight. You're dropping down, relaxing the shoulders and not overdoing it. But the idea is that weight shift, some of the moves, you do have to have 100%. So the light foot can do a step back, or it can do a side out, do a low kick, and then the weight shifts. So if it was to step back out of the way, or to shift the weight onto it, and then come forward with a push. So that's the principle behind that, to be connected, to be aware of where that weight is, and at any time we talk about, we learn things slow so we can execute fast. And execute doesn't have to be in a martial art form. It could be, and I've told you this, with black ice. You're just, walking along and there's the black ice. Whoa, you're able to, and I accredit it to the Tai Chi. I reacted, but I didn't overreact, and it saved me from a fall. So that's, again, my story. Everybody that's done Tai Chi enough has a story. So stick with it so you can have your story, that how you help somebody, or how you were able to focus on something, or just being able to be more sure of yourself when you climbed a ladder, or anything that you had to do that was a little bit of a reach, or a situation where you had to bend or twist to maybe pick up a child, or whatever, groceries, things like that. So stick with it, and you'll have some great stories that you can talk about the benefits of Tai Chi that it's done for you. Then you can go internally and just mentally as well, how it helps sort of calm the mind or clear the mind. And then you can start using it as a movement is medication, is another saying in Tai Chi. So all these moves that we do, yeah, it's an arm movement, but I'm also engaging the core. I'm plugged in with the feet, strong legs, straight back. Lungs are filling up with air, getting rid of the stale air. I'm warming up. I'm stretching that fascia. The bones are getting stronger, the ligaments, the tendons, all that, the fingertips. Some people, again, they stuck with it, and they're able to do this now. They didn't have that flexibility, or their grip improved. So let's do our basic head to toe warm up. And this can be done. It doesn't have to have the label Tai Chi. Just get up in the morning and move a little bit. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing Tai Chi if you don't want to. But you're just sort of warming up, getting ready for the day by doing some stretching. And make it your own when you're just by yourself. In class, we sort of have our routine of doing it, but any sort of movement with the neck area. Then we drop down into the shoulders, and it's a relaxed, not overdoing it. We're just warming up. And even during any part of the day, Instead of just standing there waiting, maybe you could do and you don't have to draw attention to yourself. Just a nice little gentle, just visualize again, get that breathing going, feel the connection. But as a warm up, get a little bit of that heat going, warm up that shoulder, that whole back too, that upper back area as well. Then we drop down into the hips, and we like to do what we call the slow motion hula hoop. Just gentle. You don't have to do large circles. If you're unstable, you could hold on to a back of a stool or a countertop or whatever, but just circle that hip motion and feel the core engaged. Feel the knees, the lower back, and just sort of circle around a little bit, loosen up. Good. Drop down to the knees. And the circular motion is just so many benefits to it. Yeah, there is other exercises, the stretching with the rubber bands and all that, but I think it's important just to warm up with some movement or just walking. Before you walk, you should do this. Never mind. Walking is a great exercise as well, but just loosen up those knees a little bit. And you could also, spend some time on the knees. Get some, tapping going on it if you'd like. Work the front of the knee, the back, the whole sides, the whole knee. Really, that feels good. With the ankle now, and a lot of people have trouble, so if you want to, get your stool or stand next to a table, and this is for help you with the balance. So the leg that's closest to your stable object is the one that's grounded, and just you could take it off. So now if you have that, this might help. Take the foot off the ground, and then eventually see if you can't take your hand off the stool and do it, and rotate around. These are great exercises, not necessarily just for Tai Chi. Doesn't take you that long to do it in the morning, but you want to balance and do both sides. So you could do it. And if you're sitting in a chair, same idea. You could do all these exercises, the head, the shoulders, little hip movement. There's your knees. And you can do this sitting down. Look at that. I just took that excuse away from you. Oh, I can't stand yet. Okay, well, then let's sit down and do a little work on yourself. Perfect. Those of you that can stand and you want a little bit more of a challenge, lift it off the ground. The stool's there if you need it, okay? But rotate the arm with the foot in both directions. 3, 2, 1. All right, so those are just a few of the warm-ups. Now, talking a little bit more about the Tai Chi. There's a lot of setup to do it, and I want to say correctly that I don't want to use the word perfect because you're always adjusting to maybe what worked last week. You couldn't get to it this week, or you feel you did it great last week and you're just not connecting, and it's understandable. That's what happens. That's life. So get into our mountain stance, and this is where we just again take that moment to relax, do an internal check. I know my car, when you start it, it runs up and down, and then it says check complete. So I don't know what it's looking for, but it goes through all kinds of. So let's kind of do our little check. We got our knees slightly bent, arms out to the side, shoulders, wrists relaxed, back is straight. We're taking on breathing, long, slow, deep breathing. And then the instructor will say, Tai Chi begin. Right foot's the heavy foot. And notice how I'm dropping slightly. And I visualize like a corkscrew loading that into that solid right foot. And the left foot goes out, not too far, lands on the ball of the foot. Then the weight shifts and just sort of flow, get into, this is one of the few times it's a 50-50 with the weight distributed. But the weight now is more 60-40, the front of the foot versus being on the heel. So be slightly forward, but don't lean forward. Keep the back straight. And the knees should be just over with the toes. The arms are out like that. This next move is that opening move. Up, in, and down. Those are the 3 steps to it. But you take that knowledge and just go a little bit deeper with that. Visualize. We're lifting, pulling the energy and having that energy ball and circling the energy around. Up. About shoulder height. Don't go too high. And then bring it in, but don't overdo it. I don't want to see this. Just in, and then the down, there's that 60-40. It's right about waist level. I'm not locking the elbows. So it's a flow of up, in, and down. And if it's done fast, here's the push. Someone grabs you here, you're break their grab and the push. So you learn at this, and it will, if the situation arises, you might just find yourself in that situation where someone grabs you like this. You just might, instinct, do the break the hold, and then there's that shift away, turn the body, and see how the energy came up and out the hands. And now there's the weight shift, and you're getting out of the way, getting out of trouble. So the next one we talk about is the hold the ball. And this is where that arm comes down as that one comes up. And they shift. So you're constantly moving the chi, condensing it. Feel that outward and inward movement. That breath in, breath out. And there's that shift the weight, turn the body. Put that elbow out just a little bit. And now we're doing that wave hands like clouds. This is that classic move you've seen done. People in the park, people in the Zen gardens doing this. I want to take a ride out more the western part of the state. There's more places I'd like to visit that offer a Tai Chi class. That, again, we're all students. You're always learning, always be learning, whether it's taking a class or a workshop or watching a YouTube or watching some of the past shows that we've done. There's a lot of information out there compared to whatever it was 100 years ago, where knowledge was, either passed down just, verbally, or the information that was in a book maybe got lost. So there's really great opportunities now to learn Tai Chi, learn anything really. The opportunities out there, but the whole idea is that balance of the weight shifting and the breathing, and if one hand is up, one hand is down. So you can learn a lot from observing, but you want to, again, if you can get up, that's great. If not, we adjust and we teach people. Again, I've had students, blind students, cerebral palsy, wheelchairs, in their 90s. So and little ones too. It's funny, the younger, the preteens or whatever like that, they're, I don't want to use the word hyper or whatever, but they're ready to, like, when we're gonna break a board, when we're gonna do this, when we no. For me, myself, was the same thing. It was like, okay, I got it. What's next? No, up, in, and down. And now that's, again, one of my favorite ones to do because I'm taking it to that next level of internally feeling what's happening in the body with the chi, the energy that we have, and we can feel it. And then you take it even to that next step where you're connecting to that higher source. And again, we talk about Tai Chi. It's not a religion. When we say higher source, you plug in what you want. We know there's something else out there, and we're just trying to, again, absorb knowledge. So we have that lower power center. That's where we store our energy. We have that heart power center, and that's what we use to connect to others. And then we have that third eye, or this upper power center, and that's what's used to connect to that higher source. So, great today. Nice being with you. We're going to continue. We have classes on Mondays at the Northbridge Senior Center. I'd love to have everybody there. Continue watching the show. Continue sharing it with your friends. Let me know if you want to be a guest. If you know someone that you think would make a great guest, that would have something to contribute, that is on the idea of health, mind, body, spirit type thing, and we'll see if we can't make that happen. So, till next week, it's great. We'll see you guys later. This is Tai Chi for You.